see where I end up by the end of this season. But it's also going to be like, like at the end of this month, I have to make all my kind of hard decisions of which way I'm going to go with this and that and the other thing. And, it's always a race to see how far you get. So it's like, oh, this season I got this far. Okay, great. And then it's like, nothing's going to happen until about April of next year. So for me, not a big deal, but it is, it is something that, next year, like if I could get out of the pocket next year with all my, full tanks of gas ready to go for my whippersnipper and stuff like that, and all the whipper, I still have some whipper line left, but I'm going to have to, even replenish that because I've got to buy a new head for my whippersnipper. I got to fix the other one. Got to get new chains for the chainsaws, until I can get my new chainsaw as well. But we'll see where I end up. But the idea is also to keep the debt low through the winter. I do have one more item that I know I can pull off, and I'm going to do that. And then, the big credit card payments are done for the year. I'm pretty sure by the end of this month that's what it'll be, unless I get really lucky in October. And October, I work the same way I'm working now. If that happens, I'll be laughing big time. But things are going to come to a screeching halt really early on. I do have my money for my winter tires. I do have my money for my insurance, and that. So that's good. I just started thinking about the winter tires maybe about 2 weeks ago, and I was like, oh, I forgot all about that. And it's kind of like there's one of those expenses that come in and throws off your plans. Because around the winter tires, I'm looking at $600-800, right? So maybe I'm lucky and get that all done. I know I don't want to put too much money in the car. It's not like I travel a lot in the winter, but these tires are almost bald. I don't want to die either or kill anybody else. So it just everything hurts. There's no okay, it's $50. No, it's always when something pops up, it's always $300, $1,000. You know what I mean? There's never a cheap payment. It's not like that anymore, right? So that's why I don't spend silly. That's why I try, trying to get ahead as much as I can. But I'm not ahead enough to get way ahead, right? I'm just ahead enough to maintain, so I'm doing better than probably most people. But it's still one of those things that I'm not in the clear yet. You know what I mean? So we'll see how it works out. But although my body's looking forward to kind of resting up a bit, if I can get through the winter, headache free and not too impoverished, I should be pretty happy with that. But if I can maintain at least 3 days a week through October, November, and maybe even get lucky and get into December a bit, that might not be too bad. That might just do it. But it's just those tail end of the season expenses that are going to make or break how I get through the season. So like I say, if I could the next 3 months zero out on my living expenses and stuff like that, that would get me to March, April, May. That'd get me to May, which might be enough to get me into the overlap zone of income overlapping, so that my if you want to call it savings, don't run out before the work comes in. You know what I mean? Last year I got really lucky and I made $1,000 in January, which never happens, right? I usually make $300 a month throughout the winter. Not even enough to pay all my expenses. So, that's why, like I say, my income's worth half of everybody else's, because I have to make all my living expenses within a short amount of time. But the good news is I wiped out my credit card debt in October. I did it 2 months in a row. Or I wipe out my credit card debt this month, and then maybe go into October. I might buy one more item, and then that'll be enough for the season. And it's like, okay, well, I can do the minimum monthly payments. I have the money to do the minimum monthly payments going through the winter. So it's like, okay, no problem, right? And then that's taken care of, and then I just, in the spring start up with the ridiculous paying off of things again. But I'm coming to the end of the big purchases anyway. Like there's really, after I get some of my musical equipment, like it's going to be really, okay, buy one thing at a time, pay it off, one thing, like just no rush, right? But I'd like to get things done as quick as possible, so you got to grind. But anyway, I got to get my provisions, now I got to get going.